I'm going to make a separate video. Okay, I'm gonna go over some information tonight, but I'm gonna do a separate video with this important information because I don't want it to get lost in the sauce of the live stream because y'all know I get all off topic and I can't focus. So the first thing I want to say, so I can get this out of the way, and so people can know this, I am helping Miss Linda from Birdie Babies, uh, husband and friends, family, whatever, um, sell off her collection for the most part. You know, Miss Birdie passed away, Miss Linda Birdie Babies passed away December of the last year. And so it's been almost a year. So he's ready to start parting with some. Of course, he's going to keep some of her favorites, which makes sense. Um, so I just want to let everybody know to go to her page. Her page is, do not laugh. Me and her used to laugh about this all the time. Her page on Instagram is Rikushi. She made sure she broke it down to me so that it's the proper way to pronounce it. It is Rikuchi. Oh, because she used to be like, yeah, it's gonna be another one of these coochie babies. I know that sounds so terrible, but you know, Miss Linda was Italian and Caucasian, I think, or whatever. But anyway, Rikuchi. That's the name of her Instagram channel. Her YouTube was Birdie Babies. So you can also go back and look at her channel. Now, I will say, because she had such a huge collection, there's like so much for everybody to go through. And, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to go down there and just physically help too. But right now, I'm just trying to help from where I'm at on my end. So most of the babies are being sold fairly reasonable, and because they're not really coming with a box opening. They are coming with COAs. If there isn't a COA, it will be disclosed, you know, so on and so forth. I'm just kind of weeding through because you know how it is within the community. Some people just have a lot of questions. They're not really ready to buy. I'm just trying to help be a buffer for the family so that once, you know, we discover what you want, the prices is right, and you want to do the final transactions, you could go, then I'll pass you on to where you need to go for paying and all that stuff. Please, please, please set all personal feelings aside. I'm asking you guys, I'm actually begging you guys to set your personal feelings aside for me and just think of it as it's Miss Linda's collection. It's not, I'm not getting any of the proceeds off of her collection or anything like that. So if you're interested in a baby, contact me. Instagram or Messenger. Make sure, you know, keep in mind, sometimes messages go to spam. If you see that I haven't responded within 24 hours, you know, feel free to kindly leave me a comment and say, you know, I'm trying to contact you about a baby, and I will probably see it that way. But, you know, I say that lightly because people like to be all across the page. Hey, you see me? All right, so let me speak to a couple more people. We got Alasia, Ashley Renee, Shelly Clay, Forever Reborn's World, Sharon Simmons, Natasha Perry. Okay. So, yeah, so I wanted to get that out of the way. She had quite a bit of babies in my collection that I sold to her, but she had a lot of babies from all over the world, artists from Russia and Spain and wherever, you name it. Don't have me go naming crazy places and stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about. But she did. She really did. She got painted hair. She got rooted hair. She got bald babies. She got BJDs. So she has a lot. She has silicone babies. She has one silicone baby that I painted a couple years ago. I think it was number 4, the 4th silicone baby that I painted. One of the darkest skin tones that I painted, which was Lola by Christine Whiting. That was a 15-inch baby. I believe that baby had armatures in arms and legs. I'll double check on that. And that baby is going to be sold like for $1,800. So, you know, nowadays that's the price of a blank kit. So you can't really go wrong with that. Oh, by the way, I mean to thank you for sharing pics of her babies. I realize you didn't have to do that simply because there are those like me who don't have Instagram. Yes, so I am getting together some photos too. So when I do my video, that's why I'm gonna do a separate video, and I'm gonna like kind of do a, you know, just like an overlay of the pictures. Please also keep in mind that when people are helping out and stuff, they're not going to go set up a whole photography session. So that's why I asked you guys to try to reference the Instagrams if you want to get a better picture or lighting. Miss Linda was very good at hashtagging the artist of the doll. So if you're kind of curious to know what artist it was, and you could go, you know, to our Instagram, you hashtag it, go look at the artist pictures, whatever. Do your research like you do anything else. But anyway, oh, I left my notes. Where did I put them? In the room. Another update, and I've already talked to this individual. I'm still working on my giveaway, baby. I had a couple issues come up that kind of slowed me down, and plus I have a lot of projects coming that I'm working with at the same time. But the giveaway will be home before Christmas, thank God. I think. But giveaway, baby, is going to happen. The winner does not know this, but I guess she'll know it now. I am not going to show that baby until after I ship it to her. And but we're gonna still have that conversation and do a live and talk and chat. But I'm gonna I don't want her to know what it is, what baby it is, and nothing until she just get it. And then I'll show the baby afterwards, video afterwards, pictures afterwards, that type of stuff. So that's my plan right now. Part of my problem is that I couldn't decide which baby would be the actual giveaway baby. But anyway, what else? So what else? Okay, that's on the serious notes. What else I was gonna tell y'all? Cause I miss y'all so much. I miss y'all. How y'all doing? How you doing? How your mama doing? How your cousin doing? What else? So I'm all geeked up. I can't wait to paint Lottie by Laura Lee Eagles. No, I'm not the prototype artist. But when that kit come out, I got to paint that kit. That kit is so cute. I love that kit. I'm excited about it. I'm pumped about it. I am slowing down on vinyl. I think my rooter is going to eventually stop rooting altogether. I'm so scared. So I am going to be really slowing down on vinyl for that reason, mainly. I said I was going to try to root like a preemie or something, but I don't know. Gigi is coming along. That girl got some edges, like she getting like this part is about filling on in, and she got some little hair around here. So I'm trying to get her done by the end of next week, and then she'll go up for sale. But anyway, that's all I want to talk about with the sale stuff. I'm gonna do that next week. I got some new stuff that's gonna roll out for the Gym Pop. I can't wait. And the channel box, the paid channel membership, we're at the end of the week. I think I only did 2 uploads this week, the first week I like banged out a whole lot because I wanted to give like ideas of what is going to be coming along. It's going to be a lot more coming on in there as well. We're going to be doing some mukbang, some family challenges. This year I am doing Vlogmas, but I'm gonna do that on the Gym Pop and in the chat box. So I'll be doing Vlogmas. It's gonna be so lit on my channel, y'all. I'm telling y'all period. Y'all gonna be coming to see me. I'm telling you, we're gonna be the littest Lolas in the whole wide world. Like nobody channel gonna be. No, I ain't gonna say that. Let me not say that. Oh Lord, there it goes. Oh, she thinks she all lit. She talking about ain't nobody channel gonna be beating her. I can't say that. But yeah. So I'm working on cuddle babies and full bodies and reborns. I'm painting all kinds of stuff right now. I'm excited. I'm about to start another prototype baby next week. I'm just excited. I don't know about y'all, but was y'all Friday lit? Was it lit? Or was y'all mad? Was y'all over there cussing out your coworkers, going in the office, the boss's office, snitching on your coworker, telling them about who was on their phone when they weren't supposed to be, who ain't take their patient, who ain't checked him, who ain't put them notes in the files? What? How was y'all day? Come on, talk to me. Who want to come on with me today? I got some questions. Do anybody tonight just wow Willie it with me? Wow Willie it. I would love to interview a collective right now tonight. Like who? Let me go get my notebook. I'm ready, baby. Let me get my song on real quick. We need a commercial break. Where's Edith? You in the car? Oh, baby, drive safe, honey. We don't do no calls. Thank you. Gabby is doing good. That's another thing. So part of my Vlogmas and stuff, Gabby's gonna be back in my videos again, my Poopa Loopa. So she's gonna be doing some videos with me. It might be actually in the chatterbox part because you know how YouTube be like disabling people comments. So I don't know. She'll probably be but she might be on this side too. Or you spying on my jaw? Yes, I sure was. Girl, go get your money. All right, let's do a commercial. Listen, this is my favorite song. I don't know why I like this song so much, but baby. Rubber Tussin. I don't know why I'm lady right now. Molly. Here, right, baby. Ooh, yeah, baby, ooh, yeah. Baby, ooh. Y'all gotta get up and dance with me. Who gonna get on here to it? With me. I want somebody to do the challenge that hold your hands up in 10 seconds and see how strong your knees is. Sweet me. I want to do I want to do the Kevin Gates challenge, baby. I want to be like, let's make it hurricane. Ow! Y'all gotta leave. video. You got to dance to the chair. Ooh, yeah. Baby, you is. That's how you gotta exercise, y'all. Y'all gotta get your exercise in. Whoa! We just my luck, my behind Paul line. Y'all don't know, baby. I be jamming, baby. Yeah. All right, for real, who coming on here with me? I am tired. Honey, that was a lot of work. Baby, I did that. I know. Be like, oh gosh, what is this? Bad habits. Oh boy, I tell you, it's too much. I got P Valley on here, but seriously, okay, let me go get my notepad. I almost missed my flight today. Still shame. My heart is why. Got plans in the city. Call them out for me. Ready on and on. You can come through tonight. I'm chilling on the west side. Best friend, we can fly through. Oh, I'll be waiting. Oh, baby, come through tonight. I'll make it with a try true. No, cause my live their best life too. Long, long, I'm waiting. My phone, I'll be fading. Something. Okay, let me go. The best friends you can fly through. Okay. All right, for real. What? I got a date with Gabby, so I can't stay on her all night with y'all. All right, let me get shut a link. Yeah, understand. Baby, y'all see me do a split. Okay, let me stop. Call her out, call her out. All right. Whew. I'm gonna be doing these regularly, so if you want to get with me, if you're willing to do an interview with me, this is called Collector's Cozy Corner. Okay, Collector's Corner. I only want with a tie. Okay, I gotta turn this off because I can't hear it. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna be good. All right. Did y'all share this with y'all friends? Tell y'all friends to come on. We finna get busy, baby. We finna tickle baby. We finna tookie beady. Who coming? Wait, I need to lower my camera down, cause come on down to my world. Come on down to my world. I sent the link. I sent the link. After I ask y'all questions, y'all come on, y'all be on my stage. When the questions is over, you'll get thanked. I'll send you flowers, and it's over. Y'all ain't coming. That girl said she was grabbing her bonnet and she was coming. Her lad. Where she went? Ugh. Okay, whatever. Oh, Elijah. I know that.
Oh my God, you can see me. Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hey, y'all.
You're so cute.
Oh,
okay, well, we got two. We got two. Okay, we're gonna do y'all two at the same time. Wait, why I can't get rid of this background? I don't want that background. I want everybody to be. I don't know why I got that background. There you go. I like it that way. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is first I want to ask Alasia. Am I pronouncing it right?
Atlasia, yeah.
Alasia. Okay, Alasia. You are at least 18 years old and older, correct?
I'm 23, baby.
She legal. We already asked you and made sure you was legal, so I ain't gotta ask you again because I have to make sure because I can't be talking about a children and mom be like, "Well, you asked my baby about them dolls."
Listen, I know I look like a child to some people, but I am definitely not.
Y'all definitely look like children. Hey, kids. So first,
I'm older than her. Be quiet.
My first question is, Atlasia, do you have reborn silicones? What type of dolls you collect?
I have reborns. I've had a lot, but I sold them because, like, ooh, you have a baby, and then be like, how my dogs don't eat? No, literally me. I got 2 dogs. And my mama was like, oh, so you could buy babies, how they gonna eat?
Yeah, so
yeah.
So you end up selling. So do you have like any left, or you sold your entire collection and starting over?
No, I was done because like I was getting my little feelings hurt in this community. The girls are mean, and I'm like, oh.
So,
but I still have some. I'm back in, and I have 2 babies right now.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that about the Mean Girl Club, but I'm gonna ask Hotland Holding, which a lot of us are familiar, but can you repeat to us again, like you collect reborn, silicones, or both?
I definitely have both.
Okay, so I know lots of children. And you also collect even alternative babies as well, right? Like
Correct.
Okay.
And I collect the alternatives as well in reborn and silicone.
Okay. So, I guess, that wasn't one of my questions for the night, but that's a good topic to talk about as far as like the Mean Girl Club. So when you said you were in your feelings, like what was like without, definitely without like calling names or whatever. What I mean, keep it cute, but yeah. What was a situation that you experienced that really was like, I don't even want to be a part of this community anymore. I don't want to collect?
Yeah, no. I had joined somebody's live. I liked her babies. She had ethnic babies, and I was like, I hadn't seen ethnic babies within those prototypes. So I started following her, and I started watching her lives. She had a close knit friendship, and one of the lives, like, she was like in the hospital, and I was like, you know what, I sent her many messages like praying for her and stuff like that, because it was her health was getting impacted. She had to have surgery. Not that I expected her to reply back, because she's probably like, who is this? And I didn't do it for a reply back. Like, if I'm a blabber. So if I see you saying, hey, I'm sick or whatever, I will definitely like say, I hope you feel better. You'll be in my prayers, whatever. But I was in her live and I said, hey, I'm new, trying to make some friends out here. And they read it and they were just like, well, I don't know who that is. And like kept talking. I was like,
Like,
was so
so
mean,
basically, so basically you felt like dismissed because
yes,
you were new and no one really knew who you were in the community. Holly,
right.
have you experienced anything like that within the community? Like someone just like dismissing you, like not just ignoring your comment or something, but something that was just very blatantly
and let me just add that it was only 3 people in the video chat in the live. I was the 4th person, so it's not like this where it's a bunch of circulation going on. It was 4 of us in there,
so it was easy for them to acknowledge.
yeah.
Wow, that's not right.
Now, baby, when you said bye with you and your 2 little people,
Right.
that was
Get you did in your 3-person live.
I'm real good. I'm like, baby, you ain't gotta speak to me. That's why now you ain't finna have number 2 people in your life.
Yeah, you can hardly count that as a live with only enough people to count on one hand.
I called my boyfriend. You'll never believe it, with her little bald headed stuff. She only had 3 people, and I know she saw that I said, hey.
Wow.
No, I was really hurt. Like, I feel like a bit lonely. So I was like, did I come off too strong?
Was I fanning too much?
Right.
So, Hotland, have you ever experienced that?
Definitely not something to that degree, simply because I know with me, a lot of times, especially if I'm looking at a live and it's a person that I know ain't gonna be familiar with me, and it's a person I'm newly following. So much as like when I first started watching your videos, Serenity, I was watching them for a long time, but I didn't comment and stuff just because I was just like, she ain't gonna know who the heck I am. So, and I know I really get my feelings hurt, so I don't need to incorporate myself into something where I know I'm gonna feel some type of way. So it actually took me a long time before I actually started speaking on any of your things.
So
but
you were more cautious.
I'm a very, very, very cautious person because I know I'm very sensitive. And then like a lot of the whole thing of me kind of getting used to having the mixed opinions about my dolls is through my own family, because my brother, he did not like dolls at all. But I knew that before I even started collecting.
Right.
So it was just kind of the case of, I got to the mindset of, there are going to be people out there that think it's weird because obviously it's not common to a lot of people. So, and I accept that. But at the same time, you don't have to say nothing to me. Right. And I'm not going to sit up here and push you to see my ideals about the dolls, just like you shouldn't push me to see how you feel about them. I don't care how you feel about them. I just know how I feel about them.
Right. And you know, I know you guys might not believe this, but I actually experienced that a lot, believe it or not, where people purposely ignore me when I join people live. Even people that I've known for years, people that I've met face to face, and I get to their lives and I'll be like, hey, so-and-so, or good evening. And literally they will answer the person above me and the person after me. And they'll and a couple times, because I'm so dumb, I'm like, hey, again, right? Because I noticed me, hey. And then I'm like, oh, they ignoring me. And, you know, it doesn't make you feel some type of way, because first of all, baby, I I ain't finna be ready behind you, but I'm gonna speak one more time.
Right.
I mean, even like at doll shows and stuff, like certain other bigger channels and stuff like that, or people that feel like they have a lot of popularity and stuff. I've had that happen to me. Like they just be like, I'm not gonna deal with her, or I'm not gonna acknowledge her on my live because other people will be like, oh, Serenity's in here. Hey, Serenity. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. She needs to go on her channel. You know what I mean? But it does make you feel some type of way. But I do want to say, like, if it was more than 3 people in the live, so I'm sorry, but if it was more than 3 people in the live, it's a possibility that they just overlooked it. Right. But I don't think that people should make like a side remark, like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Like, and when you guys come in here, I don't really know each one of you until I start really talking to you guys, like, or you comment frequently. So I still just go down the list and just say hey to everybody. You guys see that I do that a lot in my lives. I try to speak to everybody because that was, and we're gonna move past this one right here, but it's a real sore spot for me because when I first came into the community, I used to comment on a couple people's channels all the time, and I would see them reply to other people, but they would never reply to me. And I was like, well, maybe because they're not seeing my comments or whatever, or I would message them about a doll that they had or something, and they would never respond. So I got to, when I started my channel, I was like, that was one of my big things. I was like always trying to keep up with replying to everybody. I don't necessarily reply to everybody nowadays. Thank you, Sharon, Sweet Jules. I don't necessarily reply to everybody, but I like heart everything as I read it. But that was one of my big things. And people tell me all the time, like, oh, you still talk to everybody. And it's like, yeah, because I remember being the new girl. And, a part of this hobby is the socializing with like-minded people and other collectors. So you do want to meet other collectors and stuff. So yeah, I get that. So but don't let that discourage you from loving and collecting the dolls. You just got to find a circle that you jive with, like, even if it's not like with my channel, you might find another channel or multiple channels, and you don't have to pick and choose, that you like, oh, okay, we be thinking on the same level. So, and just, if those people ignore you, that's their loss. And then you just move past it. But I know the human part of us is like, oh, that was messed up.
Right, because I almost went there with her, like.
So yeah,
listen, that's the way I see it. If somebody want to be your hater, you just living rent free in their head.
Right. Right, exactly. So another thing I wanted to ask you guys is, and I always ask this question, is how do you feel about, okay, well, I'll ask you this. Most of the dolls that you bought, were they buy it now babies, meaning that they were already ready when you bought them, or were they customs?
Most of them were buy now babies.
Buy it now babies.
Yeah.
And Hotland, what was yours?
Okay, so in my case, like it's a weird divide on my babies. Okay, I have a few buy it nows. Okay, but the vast majority of my collection ended up being pre-loved babies.
Okay.
And very, very, very few are actual customs. But even though they're customs, they're very loose customs because I don't go super specific with things that I want on my babies. Because if I'm asking for a custom from somebody, it's usually because I've seen their work and I really like how they painted their babies. Okay. And a lot of what makes me go to want to get like any type of custom from them is usually if they painted babies like that, they just painted, not specifically ones that people asked to have custom made by them. So okay. It's me loving their particular art enough to where even if I didn't get a custom, I would absolutely love the baby that they paint for me.
Yeah. Okay. So it kind of rolls into the other things. And everybody that's watching also, when I ask these questions, you can also respond in the comments too and tell me, like, if you want to add in or something like that. But when you say, okay, so my other question would be, what is your take on the difference between a custom and a private order? Because like what you're explaining to me is basically, well, I'll let you guys answer, then I'll tell you how I see it. So
I don't think I've ever done a private order. I've done 2 customs. Experiences was not the best. Y'all already know. I be in the chat like, let me tell you. But I don't have much experience with a private order. I've only just gotten into the community last November. So
okay.
still new, still learning the ropes, still learning how to communicate like my wants, and especially with the money part, I would love to hear a more seasoned person on that, because I am struggling like
with the money part.
I feel like if I give you like 600, 700 off rip, like I explain my situation to you, and you feel like you could just drop off the edge of the earth for weeks, and I'm like, feel like I'm hounding you down almost, I feel like that's a problem. And I feel like it happened a lot with customs. So I personally now just prefer buy now baby. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna touch on that. I'm just gonna read this comment really quick.
I don't even remember what the question is. I ain't gonna lie.
Huh? What?
I didn't talk so much, you forgot.
I just forgot the whole question. No, I'm also like, I keep looking back at my baby Rowan, because he sits in the bed with me, and I keep looking back at him, and I forgot the whole question.
Oh, I think she asked like the difference between private and custom, right?
It was about the difference between a private order and custom.
And a custom.
She was saying that she doesn't have a lot of experience on it, and just to touch on what she was saying, as far as she feel like is once she pays her money, and then the seller decides, or the artist decides, that basically they don't have to communicate anymore, because now they got the money. And then when she do reach out, they'll make you feel like you're bothering them, like, what now, like, type thing. And I understand that feeling. I think that is a very, very touchy subject, and it's a very thin line between what's effective communication and what's overkill, or what. I think the expectations on both ends need to be set up front. So when I start doing business with a customer and I get ready to start their order, I say, number one, with my silicone babies, I don't do work in progress pictures. I used to, I don't do it anymore. It's too risky because of the process. You don't risk messing up your own baby, putting lint on it, all this stuff. So I don't do work in progress pictures. When I get ready to start, I will go over those things, and then I'm a person that like to communicate. So I feel like it doesn't stop when you get that person money. Once I get your money and I order whatever supplies, or unless I got the kit there, I may check in with you and say, okay, I'm starting your baby or whatever. I'll let you know once I reach a certain skin tone, and then I might reach back out to you midways and say, hey, the baby is starting to get color now. Like, I do little updates like that, and anybody that has worked with me, like as far as a custom from beginning to end, will tell you, or private order. The difference between a private order and a custom to me is when you are just picking the kit basically and saying, hey, I want you to paint this, go with it. Sometimes they're just like, they'll tell you, I want it, black or white, Chinese, Blacknese, whatever. And, and then that's a private order. You're really kind of giving them free range. Customs is kind of like being more specific in what you want.
Yeah. I would honestly say that most of my customs are more so private orders. I don't have any true custom orders because I have never gotten very specific on what I want on babies. Because like I said, when it came to me getting, because they call them customs, but they're definitely more so private orders. Because when it always came down to it, it was always the case of I was looking at other pictures of babies they painted. Sometimes there will be one particular one or a few of them that I like really, really loved. And every once in a while, it may be one particular thing that I would want to change. Like I will pick a different eye color if they were to go to this skin tone or whatever. But that's pretty much the furthest customization goes with me.
Right.
Because I never ask for anything outrageous or crazy because I just be like, I just want you to paint. I just want you to paint me a pretty baby. And the only advantage I have over like it being a private order is that I know that the baby that comes out is mine. I ain't gonna have to fight with nobody, and they ain't gonna pay it before me. It's my baby.
Exactly.
I agree. I don't like they're like, oh, do you want birthmarks or how do you want the veining? And I'm like, I get all my terms from Serenity, the like modeling and stuff like that. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is. I gave you the skin tone and you just do you.
Just paint me a baby that looks real.
It was actually really rare that I asked for stuff like birthmarks and stuff. I've probably had one or two particular times where I asked for like a birthmark in a specific place, just because in my mind that day I was just like, oh, this would be really cute if this specific kid had a mark right here.
Right.
Yeah, it's I think when people do get so picky. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some artists that absolutely love those challenges of mastering someone's vision. I am not that person. I don't like people to tell me what to do. You tell me to go left, I'm going right. So that's partially why I don't do like custom because I feel like if you nitpick me on everything I do, the whole part of painting, it's a feeling. And I need to be able to be creative and go with the flow. But if I have to keep questioning myself and stopping and saying, oh, no, they didn't want this or they want that, it messes me up. And another thing that a lot of customers do, just speaking from both sides, is midway through the custom, they go to changing their mind. And so you got all these things going on, and then the baby don't come out the way you want it. Well, you frustrated the artist all through the way, and now you got something that you don't really love because you didn't allow the process to go naturally. But like I said, I'm on both ends, and I've been on the other side of that where, you've had my money, and I ain't talking about no little bit of money. And to me, 500, 600, 700,000, 5,000, 6,000 on up, you got this money, and then I don't hear from you for 2 months or so. No type of, well, I'm here, I'm there, or whatever. Especially if you've given me a time frame and it's getting close to that time frame, but you haven't touched in with me. I'm good with patience if you touch in with me, but if you don't touch in with me, then it makes me on edge because you got my doll and the money. So I'm like, and if I reach out to you, I'm gonna tell you exactly this, and then we move on. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is actually the main reason why I started painting, because let me carefully choose my words here. I was getting a private order done, and the artist had my doll for a while, and it wasn't a cheap doll. And when I reached out and said, well, do you know how much longer it's going to be or how's it going? They said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead. It's pretty much done. I was just having a problem with whatever, but I'm gonna just throw these little eyes in here or whatever, and you can adjust them when you get it. And I'm gonna just throw it in a box and send it to you. No, seriously. And
not sending your baby cock at it.
Yeah. And wait,
no,
that's not even in. I said I wasn't even a painter or nothing. Then I was like, I don't know how to do the eyes. I don't know. You'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. This is my experience, and this was like about the third or fourth time this type of situation had happened with me, or or whatever. And I said at this point, I'm just going to have to figure out how to paint myself or something. So, I painted my first little chocolate baby, but we won't get into that. But I was determined to learn how to paint myself because of that particular situation right there really pushed me over the edge, because she made it seem like I was bothering her, and all I was doing was asking what's going on. I mean, it's been months. Right. And you pushing out all these other babies, free babies, and all this and stuff, and my baby just
sitting up in the attic somewhere.
And then she got a whole attitude because I asked what the status was.
Right.
And she literally didn't send that baby any kind of way to me. Yeah, disheveled and everything. So that was it for me. But yeah, so I definitely understand it from both sides. Hold on, let me catch these comments real quick.
Mm-hmm. I actually have to go.
Okay.
On 2%. So
okay. Well, you tune back in another time. I appreciate you coming in.
I will tune in. Thank you, Serenity. I be harassing you on Insta and stuff like that. So.
What's your name on Instagram?
Thank you for always answering me.
What's your name on Instagram?
Huh?
What's your name on Instagram?
Lasia and Babes Reborn.
Okay, because y'all know y'all be switching up these names on me. I'll be like, I'm talking to.
No, I can't switch up my name. I've forgot how to log in.
Okay. Well, yeah. Feel free to message me anytime. Go ahead and plug your phone.
Bye, Hotland. It was nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too.
Hold on, let me catch these comments real quick.
All right.
Somebody said, "Hey T Chambers, thank you, Barbara Slater. Hey Queen B." A lot of people have mostly customs. Stacy said she be asking she want 14 veins, 6 milk bumps, 3 moles, and a heel prick. Girl, let me tell you. Yeah, that is crazy, you doing all that. Yeah, I need to be touched in with. I don't mind waiting extra time or delays, but keep in contact with me. And Barbara Slater said she just stopped by to say hello, had a major car accident. Oh
no.
Everything is okay. Jesus. I hope you had a car accident while you was on the live. I don't feel awful.
Right.
I ain't worth that. Well, I kind of am, but not.
Listen.
Not really. Not really. Oh God. People gonna unsubscribe now. That girl said she was worth the accident. No. Okay, I didn't mean it that way. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pray that everything is okay for real on a serious note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was that. But yeah, let me see, what was my other question I had? I don't want to like give you like 1,000 questions, but I just want to kind of start talking about like some of these topics, because I think that people, I don't know, I think a lot of us have had similar experiences, or we don't really talk about it, like fully talk about it. And sometimes we think we so right in our head, and then we start saying it out loud, we realize how it kind of don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh yeah.
Things sound different once you start saying it out loud.
Right. Like, yeah, okay, well, maybe. Oh, this was a good question. Dang. Well, she's still fairly new. How do you determine if a doll is worth the asking price?
I am still, like, honestly, that's what made me slow down on my buying of babies, because the case is that there's a lot of factors at play in, because you when people take pictures of the babies, sometimes they can look better in the pictures, sometimes they can look worse in the pictures. So, and then especially when you're first collecting and stuff, you get so absorbed by how cute the baby's face and stuff is, you don't consider, like, when you hold the baby, you might not like how the limbs sit in your hands. You might not like how the baby curl. You might not like that you can't pose the baby that many ways.
Right.
So it's a learning curve, I swear. And I feel like you kind of have to go through the process of kind of buying different types of babies according to like how their limbs sit and all that other jazz. And even ones that you don't think look that great in their photos, the moment you get them in hand, you can be like, I didn't know this baby look like this.
Right. And you hit on a good thing too about the posing, because for me, see, and that's the thing, everybody have different things that they want in their babies, and it makes a big difference. For me, posing is everything.
Yes.
I need the baby to be able to pose. I need the baby to be cuddly. If the
Mhm.
baby is awkward or box shaped and it can only go one way, or their head
Mhm.
don't turn from side to side, if it's
Yeah.
silicone, then those things become a real problem for me. So I've learned to kind of look for those things, but determining what a doll is worth, I like to think that I have it in my head down to a science, but I really don't. Sometimes I see a baby and I'm like, I'm not willing to pay over, let's say $500, and the doll is like listed for 900. I'm like,
Mhm.
I kind of really want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then one thing I can say, like when it comes to determine what a baby is worth, it's really going to just boil down to the individual person, because there's certain things that other people can live with being an adult that I can't. So, so for example, when it comes to babies, like when they have like kind of frozen poses in certain ways, quite frankly, it comes down to, with me, the type. If it's a silicone baby, it comes down to the type of silicone they're in. Because certain silicones, even if the baby is kind of meant to stay one particular type of pose, if they are soft enough, they are going to fall into different poses, even
Anyway,
still at
yeah,
that point. But
right.
if they are a little bit firmer, oh, you're going to be fighting with them. You're going to be fighting with
Yeah,
them to put their hand or leg one way you want it.
yeah, yeah.
That baby going to fight you back.
Right. And when it's like, vinyl, or like you say, pharma silicone, you kind of limit it, because you don't want to be forcing these dolls into trying to put them in positions and messing
Yeah.
up your dolls. So,
And I ain't gonna lie, when I first started with the vinyl, it took me a while to decide whether or not I liked full limbs. And the reason why is because when people weigh their babies and they stuff them, not everybody like considers the fact, once they're full limb babies, they don't make it to where they can move very much in this department, or they make it to where it's hard to bend their arms up and down because they didn't tighten the strings too much, the zip ties too much, and they got to fight with the baby to get the arm to turn a certain way.
yeah, I'm telling you, and that's another video that I'm gonna do again and revisit that, on how to take your babies apart, how to put the zip ties in, how to take the zip ties out, how to weight the babies, how to re-weight them and stuff. Because sometimes, you get a baby and the head is too tight and it's hard to turn. You just need to loosen that zip tie up. So you need a whole new zip tie and start over. But it's just, it's so many little things that we can fix ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a great baby, but it's not weighted right. And like you said, if the arm's stuffed like this and it's all
just
like
all you can do is this with the baby the whole time.
And the joints so stiff you can't move the arms, and oh my gosh, it's like you just ruined it all.
And for that reason, I used to think that I only would take babies that were like 3/4 limbs, because it at least gave you most of the human thing, the human look. All you do is have to have short sleeves on them. But because it was 3/4 limbs, the limbs move real good. They move real good, and the baby cuddled real good.
Sometimes move too good. They be spinning all around. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna get with you, my beautiful angel babies. I'm gonna get your question. Also, Sharon Sweet Jewel said, I go by experience of the artist and process the artist uses to create the baby, and the rooting style for determining the price, when she determines if it's worth it. So she basically says she go off of the experience. So I'm not gonna argue that debate. But there's people out here that got a long tenure and a resume that's a mile long. They've been doing this for 30 years and their work still look like trash. But I can't say that as an artist.
Yeah. Honestly, I had my own opinion about that too.
But what you're saying. She's meaning, I'm hoping you mean by experience as in skill versus how long they've been doing it. Because there's people been doing this thing for a long time. And
Yeah, because you know, because even Walmart babies get sold. I'm just saying, and those babies is made in the factory and stuff, and they get sold. They get sold by the dozen. But I don't want one of them for no dang $1,200.
Right. So yeah. So I'm thinking she mean by this, you know, experience as in skill set, because I just want to say that, just put that out there for people that might be new and think, oh, look and say, oh, she's been doing this for 9 or 10 years, or she's been doing this for 12 years. You know, oh, okay, well, she's got to be better than so and so. Yeah, make sure you know what type of skills they got.
All I can really say is, in my experience, you can't be, obviously you don't want to lose out on like $1,200 and stuff, obviously. But you can't be afraid of the possibility that you might end up with a baby that you're not particularly, you know, fond of. You can't be afraid of that happening, because that is how you kind of figure out what things you specifically like. And eventually you'll get to the point where you find what artist fulfills these particular wants for you. And then those are the ones that you're willing to pay a much higher dollar for.
Right.
Because I don't chase after the top, you know, the most popular artists and stuff, because to be completely fair, sometimes people make babies look a little too real for me, and I'm like, not everybody real baby look cute. And that goes for humans too.
Yeah, it's like it's also, you know, my thing too, it's also about I think there's a thin line between commercial lies, like perfection, versus natural realism.
Yes.
Like I've collected. I used to be in love with an artist's work, and I still love her work, and it doesn't take away from her work, but I'm just saying the different styles. She had a more commercial style. Like it was like she went to school for it. She put the browns in this place, and it was neat and crisp, and the nail tips was perfectly symmetric, and everything was just like boom, boom, boom. It was almost factory made, if that makes sense. It was almost factory made. And then I had another artist that sometimes she didn't always color inside the line, but it was something magical about her painting.
Yes, I like my little imperfections in my babies.
And
I like my little imperfection in my babies. I ain't gonna lie, I really do.
Right. And so, but she had the little nuances of what, like for me, of course I was collecting Black babies, and she captured all the little nuances that real Black babies have, and it looked real. It's just that her work wasn't like crisp. And so I liked both of their babies a lot. And I noticed that people that didn't collect dolls would be like, oh, this baby is so pretty. And and it was more of like a factory doll versus the other doll. But the thing about the other doll was, people didn't say, oh, this doll is pretty. They would be like, is that a baby? You know what I mean? Or,
exactly.
Like they knew that was a doll and they loved it. But the other one, they questioned, is it real or is it not? That's what I want.
That's what I want too. Yeah, and sometimes for me, it is that simple. It's not even a matter of the sculpt. Sometimes what makes the difference on whether or not it's worth it to pay the price for a baby is who painted the baby. Because I've been looking at the same sculpt several times, all painted by different people, and some of them I'm like, I would never pay that price for that baby. And I see somebody else that'll paint it and they can put it for a higher price, and I'll be like, I'll jump on that baby.
Right. And oh my God, I've done that. Like, I mean, listen, I'm telling you, and you guys see me talk about that Benjamin sculpt so bad, and ended up with that Benjamin sculpt, and I love it. I love the way Jennifer painted that kit. And I'm gonna tell you something else. When you talk about like these name brands and stuff, and we were talking about that, it's funny because also name brands and the photography, some people have very good photography skills. And like Angela Plica, her photography skills is amazing. Her work is actually just as amazing as her photography. It's not like she's duping up her photos or anything. But when Jennifer Linkovic, her pictures to me make me question, am I gonna like this baby? Because it looked like it might be a little too deep there or whatever.
Yeah.
But then
Mhm.
when I got the baby, this is the funniest thing. I was like, dang, her painting was so close to Angela Plica. I was like, these heifers know each other. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, but her pictures don't reflect that.
Mhm.
But it's also something in her coloring of her work that is hard to photograph too. But I
Yeah.
think it's a level of shading of the way she shades or whatever. But it's not as dark as it look on like the camera when she takes her pictures. So people don't really be like going on and on about her work. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like Angela
Mhm.
Plica got a
Yeah.
name. She's a brand. And so people automatically, she puts something out, they're gonna jump to it. But
Mhm.
Jennifer Linkovic, people do know she does good work, but they're not gonna automatically jump to it like Plica because her brand ain't as big. Well, in my opinion, from what I understand, I might be wrong, but a lot of people don't like carry her weight as big as that. But actually, her painting is like right on point. But
Mhm.
you know, and that's the other thing too. If you know, a lot of people they either measure by name or they measure by price. And we
Mhm.
complain about price all the time, but here's the thing. If I put Phoebe up for, well, I can't use Phoebe because everybody like Phoebe. But I was gonna say if I put Phoebe, but I'm just gonna say, still, even with Phoebe, if I put Phoebe up right now and said, well, not now because y'all know her, but you know what I mean? Just if I was a random person and I put Phoebe up for sale for $800 and she's a full body silicone, people gonna be like, I ain't buying that. It must be something wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they gonna think that's a scam or
but
you don't got the baby.
if I put take that same exact picture and I put her up and I say I want $4,000 for it, more people gonna be interested and inquiring about her than me putting $800 on her, because we automatically think higher price mean higher quality, and that is not the case all the
That
time.
is not true at all. That is
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a hard, fast rule. It can apply, but it's not a rule. It's not a automatic thing. I feel okay. Wait a minute. Sharon said, "Main Touch of Love said, thank you, Serena, for clarifying that. Excellent point." Sharon Sweet Jewel said, "I feel some artists are better at certain types of kids." Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. Do you have certain kits that you see and you be like, oh, I want this artist to paint it, or I want that artist to paint it? Because like I want to see what so and so artist gonna do with this kit. I hope she paint this kit.
Mhm.
I've always been like that. Before I started painting, even now I still do that. I'll be like, come on now, like when the prototypes come out, the main prototype's gonna be who? Angela Plica,
Yep.
Sylvia Escawayu, Avia Caviovi, Bianca Francadaca. You're gonna have the same prototype people. So certain ones, the others be coming through. I be like, next. I'm waiting for that one artist to come and paint that doll so I can see what it look like. Because I'm like,
yeah, because then I'm gonna know like how the kid really can look. That's what I mean by when I see kids painted by a whole lot of different artists and they put these price tags on them. I can very easily say I would never buy that baby when other people paint it, but when a certain person put their work to it, I'm like, I would pay whatever penny they ask me for that baby.
right. Yes, I totally agree. And I think that the more, like you said earlier, the more you get into it and the more you buy, and the more you experience more different artists and
Yes.
more kits and stuff like that, you start to learn what type of sculpting you like, what type of silicone feel you like, what type of painting you like, what type of hair you like, everything, what matters and what doesn't matter to you. And so you become like to a point where you can almost eyeball something and know that ain't it, or
Exactly.
that's it. Or you might have one you're a little on the fence with. And sometimes now that I've gotten a little bit more experience, if I'm on the fence, sometimes if the price is real high, I go ahead and pass, because if the price is really high, I need to be automatically drawn to it without a shadow of a doubt.
Exactly.
But if the price is like average and I'm kind of on it, I might go ahead and take a gamble. Sometimes it be more than what you expect. Sometimes it ain't. But if the price ain't that bad, I can take a chance, because I'll just sell it later, because I don't know I'll sell it. But but if that price high, man.
So I ain't gonna lie, there's a new baby that I recently got. It wasn't one that I bought, it was one that I ended up winning in a little giveaway. I am not gonna lie, when I first saw the pictures of that baby, I was just like, I don't want that thing. I want to give up. I want to pass on this little giveaway thing. But I didn't have the heart to tell the person who like told me I won the baby, because I have had her paint. I have 2 sets of twins that I had her paint for me, and I love those babies. I really do. But that little baby right there, it's a little 11-inch baby. That little baby didn't look like it had not a nail, not a detail on it. It just looked like one solid color. It looked straight like a doll to me in them pictures. But once I got that baby in hand, I was like, I kept looking at the pictures and looking at the baby. I was like, this don't look like the same baby.
It was better than the pictures, right?
That baby is so cute in person, and it looked like a real baby.
Sometimes the cameras, I hate it. Sometimes they just like, they mute a lot of details sometimes, especially if it's softly painted. The baby can have all type of modeling and everything, and then you can't see nothing. Someone asked, Shelly Clay asked, can you tell if the doll has been airbrushed as opposed to hand painted? I kind of, sometimes I be speculating. I'm not 100% sure that I'm always right. With silicone, yes, a lot of times I can tell that the doll is airbrushed. There's a couple telltale things on a lot of people that airbrush, and I'll tell you that with silicone, most artists, when they paint AA for whatever reason, they airbrush them instead of hand paint them. And I don't know, I guess it's easier for them to do it or get to a color, like, or faster, like how I'll be painting layers and layers and layers. They can spray paint that thing in about 2 days and be done, and just have a solid color. I can kind of tell those sometimes. Now there is, and I'm not going to call the name because I'm not 1000% sure, but I'm almost certain she airbrushed. And her dolls are really nice. There's a very few people that airbrush that work, that I think their painting looks good and that I would still buy it. I don't particularly care for airbrush work. That's just my personal preference. But yeah, and then with reborns, there's people that airbrush reborns, and a lot of people don't understand that either, don't know that. There are a lot of reborns that's airbrushed as well. And then sometimes they go in and they paint in the detail. And it's just a matter of preference. I just feel like the hand painted one, to me, usually give me more detail, but
yeah, because the thing is that I feel like with airbrushing, a lot of times when things get airbrushed, they do end up a solid color. They do. They end up very pristine and perfect when they're airbrushed, versus when you hand paint, you're going to have like little variations that happen, whether intentional or unintentional, just because hand painting is just not, it's just not going to be perfect.
Right. Exactly. And I honestly think that's what that's why they do the airbrush too, to get that crisp look.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm about to say, and unfortunately, when it comes to AA babies, a lot of people don't realize in AA people that we have different tones within our skin tone.
Yeah.
They just see one color. So therefore, airbrushing seems easier to them because they're just painting on one solid color.
Right. Exactly. And it, yeah, that, you know, I could go into depth on that part even more, but I'm gonna leave that way in sec.
But that's why it was hard for me, the AA thing, because I was just like,
because I don't want to lose subscribers.
And I look at me like, I know I ain't one whole solid color like that.
Nope.
Like,
and you know, just I mean, especially babies too, because their color's not coming in all the way, and then they go through these little phases, and they, you know,
yeah. But I mean, my oldest niece and my youngest nephew, they were indeed born chocolate babies. They were little chocolate drops when they were born. However, me, I was not born chocolate. I'm not even chocolate to begin with. I didn't even turn out chocolate, but I was born looking like a little Asian baby because I was real light with dark knuckles.
Oh my God. Yeah, because like my second daughter, she was so light, right? But she looked like she was gonna get dark. My mom was so excited. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna finally get me a chocolate grandbaby, right? Because it's baby number 2." And her hair ran down and met to her eyebrows. Like I couldn't tell where her eyebrows connected to her hair, right? And then her hair ran down here, and like I could do this, like up her back, the hair off the nape, like her neck and down her back. The hair would stand up about that much on her. She was like a little monkey. I know we're not supposed to say that.
No,
but listen, she was hairy like a little monkey, right? I can say that because I'm black. You better call my baby no monkey if you're white. But so yeah, she had this hair. She was just hairy, and then her tips of her fingers were darker, like they were darker, right?
Yep.
But when the weeks was going on, her tips start to lighten up to her hands, which is opposite of what we're used to. Usually the baby get darker to match.
Yeah, to match the color on the tips of their fingers and
my
stuff.
Grandmother was like, "Baby, that's not dark ears, that's hair." And she told me to rub her ears like this, you know, sometime, and the hair just start to fall off. It slowly started falling off, and baby, when I tell you, I call her blanket for the longest. I call her blanket like Michael Jackson's child, because the girl went and tan. She's still the lightest baby I got. She ain't got no color. Gabby was little. Gabby was going around the table talking about, "Mama is brown. I'm brown." She said, "Keisha is yellow." She got to the second daughter. She's talking about, "Mommy, what's Tam? Her white." Because she couldn't say white, and she was like, "Her white." she wouldn't even give my baby yellow. I said,
"No, that's me.
So
Daddy to be yellow."
Everybody had because she would say, "Oh, yellow and manila for vanilla," and all. She had all these flavors for colors, but when she got to her, she was like, "What's her color?" Her white. But yeah, she never got darker. My mom was so mad. My mom was like, "Dang it, I was hoping I was gonna get one dark baby." So yeah, she could eat Gabby up because Gabby got
out of my sister's kids, my second eldest sister, she got 3 babies. So the middle one is the little light bright. She the individual out of the 3, because the oldest, she was born a little chocolate baby, and she ended up getting some real thick hair. And the youngest one, he was a born little chocolate baby. He got some thick hair. She was born so light, and her hair ain't even black. She got the chestnut hair, little chestnut thin brown hair. She don't look like she belong in that
like one of these
series.
Not belong here.
Yeah, she don't look like she belong in that set of siblings, but she is my sister's kid, and she looked the most like me.
That's so cute though.
That's like my sister,
Charm,
her first baby looked like her, and her second baby looked like me.
it works like that sometimes in the family. They'll jump and look like the aunt or the uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Reborn said, yes, it annoys me when some artists make them solid, one solid color and make them look like factory dolls. And
Yes.
then Shelly Clay said, my niece used to say I'm peachy. And then Charmed Reborn said, do your daughter have a lot of hair now? Yes. So she's all natural now, and her hair is like really long and it's thick. Well, I knew she was gonna be, and she's hairy. She's very hairy, hair in her face and stuff like that in her arms. It just lays though and stuff, but her hair is thick. But let me tell you, baby, I knew that baby was gonna have some coarse hair because she was born with one nappy patch in the top of her head. So all her hair would lay, and this part was like, at first when she first came home, it was just like a curl. And this was laying, but this was kind of curly. And it was kind of poofy, like spongy, and I could feel it, and it was thickened. Like, and so by the time that baby was about a week old, baby, she need a relaxer right there in the middle. Baby, she had that one nappy patch.
And let me relax this crop in the middle.
I don't know what it is about my children, but my son was born with one. He had a curl go out the side of his head like alfalfa, and it was blonde, like literally blonde, and it curled, and it was just one little curl that stuck up like alfalfa, and it curled. It was like a little blonde patch, but they say it was because that white man was feeding me all that wild deer meat. I'm gonna get that white boy. His name was Troy, and he chewed tobacco. I was pregnant, and he used to give me wild deer meat and stuff at work. He was so sweet, and he was so cute, and he's coming there and talking to me about his problems. So I used to be counseling him. I was gonna save his life.
Yeah, out of my mama's children, I was the one that they didn't think was my dad's baby. They thought that my mama then got pregnant by some white man. The only thing that made my dad know that I was his baby is I was the only one born with his mutation with having the 6 fingers.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do got six.
Yeah, I was born with 6 fingers, and that mutation came from his side of the family.
Girl, but yeah, it's funny, but it and with that being said, that's why it's like so many different rainbows of colors of babies, that you can paint in so many different skin tones, and it's just
yeah. It's just the little things that sit up here and make babies fall under certain categories of skin tones, because
and there's so many. That is why so many different babies appeal to different people. Like,
yes,
because we come from so many different backgrounds, and our children and grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, or cousins and neighbors, and we see these babies, or hell, I be in a grocery store, I be like this. I be looking at the bottom of the children's feet. I bet they probably, I don't know, people gonna be thinking I'm weird or something, because I be looking at their feet, the bottom of their feet, looking all up their nose. Baby be digging up their nose. I be trying to see what comes inside the nostril.
Because I swear, like when you know how when people get their baby hair rooted and they say they want it to be rooted newborny, okay? So a lot of times people would think that newborny, the hair is like a little thinner and stuff sometimes. But some Hispanic people, they baby be looking like they got a whole wig on their head newborn.
Yeah, they do. They have thick.
They got a thick little mop on their head, and that's a newborn. And I'm like, we ain't born that way. My niece didn't have no edges for the longest time until she was like 4 years old. She had no hair. She only had that little fro hawk in the center.
Everybody is different. I'm telling you. Brown Sugar Curtis said I had to do a double take at my middle son because he looked Spanish. LOL. If I didn't know better, I would have questioned it myself. Girl, what you thought you were doing? Sleepwalking? Let me call your husband, because you sound a little questionable right now. How you would have had to question yourself. You sure?
Don't be sleeping with that bedroom music going. Shoot.
She was rubber tussle.
Don't be out there being a little hot pocket.
Throwing that old hot pocket out there. Got you an old Spaniard. Over there talking about Oh, that's one of my favorite things. What? Huh? What you said? That baby that probably took a long time to speak English, didn't he? Mm-hmm. We know who the real daddy is. But yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it's just I don't know. But I really want to do more of and it's more fun when more than people come on. I think when we was in the chat box and talked about this was something I think I want to do more often because I think it's better than me just talking. Cause y'all get tired of hearing me talk. I mean, I do be sounding cute and all. Okay, not really, but I do like to hear from other collectors and stuff like that, and so I think I'm gonna start doing more lives, both here and on the next level. So I'm gonna be doing another live on the next level.
I think she switched the live streams from the other one to the next level, or
but this is the gym pop. We're on the gym pop now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so every now and then I want to do it here.
Yeah.
Because I have to check on my Lolas out here because they be needing a mental check-in.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, it's what helped me decide to even start to end up in the chatterbox, because I ended up watching enough of your lives, and I ended up joining the chatterbox eventually. Because I was watching you for a while, and then but I just wasn't at show.
I wondered, I always wondered, what make people want to join the chatterbox, because. And I think a lot of people tell me that they like the live streams and stuff. And
you want me to tell you my journey on how I started following you?
How? What happened? What I did?
So when I first got into when I first found these dolls in the first place, I didn't know there was a whole community to it, but I ended up eventually finding that people had YouTubes and stuff for them. And what I ended up when I first saw your videos, the first baby I was drawn to was Lizzie. Yo Gabigail. I was drawn to Lizzie, and I would just because I was like, who's gonna find an appeal in a silicone baby that got a cloth body? I was just and I saw that baby, I was like, wow, that is a very pretty baby. And then one day the baby was gone. It wasn't in your nursery no more. I was like, that baby was my favorite, and that's how I started to know the name Claire Taylor and stuff and everything. And I looked on her website, and I was just like, maybe the babies look better in person. With some of them, that's how I felt. I ain't gonna lie. No, her sculpting is beautiful, but I just tend to sometimes be a little nitpicky about how much coloring they put in certain babies and everything. Because some features of the sculpt, I don't want them to feel as prominent. And then when the way you paint them, you can make them come out so much. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can look at that every day.
I know I painted a baby one time and I was like, yeah, this ain't it.
but I mean, I eventually when I started seeing the live streams, because I had never joined a live stream on YouTube before in the first place. And I had joined one of yours, and I was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I still wasn't really talking in it. I was just taking it to listen to it and everything. It wasn't until you got into the point where you started painting your own babies and everything that I really got a feel for the type of person you were. Because when it comes to just the whole thing of doing your own videos, or sometimes just reading the things that you write about things, like when you just write things and everything, obviously text can be interpreted different ways from different people. Some people you can come off as snobby. Some people you can come off as mean. Some people you can come off as goofy. When I watched enough of your live streams, I was like, this woman is just goofy, and she's just herself. And that's all it is to it. And then
so you think in my videos, without watching the live streams, I came across more like, oh, she's a snob, like. Or
I felt like that when you first like mainly were collecting Claire Taylor babies,
okay.
and the case was is that it felt like you constantly switched out babies and ended up with all these expensive babies. And I was like, you know what? If I ever spoke to her, she probably wouldn't even recognize who the freak I am because I ain't on her level.
Right.
Because I have never spent that much money on a baby. I had never had a full body silicone. I ain't never had a silicone type baby at all at that point. And I looked at the prices of the type of babies you were getting, and I just seen how quickly you were switching them on in and out and stuff. I was like, that's all right. I'll sit in the background and just
She a
watch.
telephone.
I would sit in the background and just watch because I'm gonna get my feelings hurt because she ain't gonna notice me.
Yeah, I think that's why I said, like I said, I think it's easy sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna say that people didn't have the right and feel entitled to say that they felt like I was maybe a snob. Also, too, I think there was a point where I was starting to do a lot of videos where I was like, and you're supposed to do this, and you should do this, and it kind of come across like, oh, I know everything, and I'm the Claire Taylor expert.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and
when it
she's
got to the
the
point where
best.
it just became to a point where you got to the point where you started like kind of branching out a little bit more. And then when you started talking about things that you did with your babies, you made it more clear. And this is how I like to do my babies. And this is how I maintain my babies. It didn't come across as this is the universal thing that you need to do with your babies if you want to have nice babies like me type of thing.
Thank God, because I was about to say, girl, what? I was not.
Yeah, so it felt like your stuff was more it more felt like your stuff was more of your own opinion on things versus you saying this is how you need to do it or else your
Right.
baby just gonna be raggedy.
Yeah, because I sometimes I be like, I don't want other people to think that I'm like that, because like,
Yeah.
you know, and it was never for me about the brand or the name. It was
Yeah.
literally like I got so in tune with sculpting. And what happened is when I first started collecting silicone babies, my first like silicone babies were like Amy Strickland, Roz Bailey, and I collected a lot of Roz Bailey babies. And when Roz Bailey first started sculpting, she's a sweet lady, but her babies used to look like little aliens. And then she started getting better, and they started looking more human. And she started getting better and better. But I liked her babies because I loved the way her silicone felt, and she was just so sweet to deal with. Like she was such a really nice person.
Yeah.
And so you know, and her prices was affordable, and so I acted the same way I did about the Claire Taylor dolls about Roz Bailey because I really loved the doll, but
Yeah.
nobody never really cared because her dolls didn't cost that much. But I think, you know, one way I could understand it, and then the other way is kind of like, I don't know. But I could understand it because when you spending that kind of money for a Claire doll, and you know, it's like when I'm saying like, oh, this is what I like. This is it. You know, no other baby can satisfy what I want in my collection. It's like almost like saying no other artist is good enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what people were telling me that I was how I was coming across. And so, you know, I would try to explain sometime, but it was just like, you know, I don't know. But then once I stepped away from it and started to venture out and start back collecting like I did in the very beginning, because basically what I did, all I did was start going back to my old ways and mixing it up. I still like color sculpting, you know, here and there, but I don't collect her work primarily. And I honestly prefer not to even really do a lot of it publicly because I don't want to deal with the mean girls in the community. I don't want to be in the competitive, my doll better than your doll type situation. So, but once I started getting back into the feel of it, I started looking back at it and I was like, dang, I probably did sound a little, you know.
Yeah. So to me, what like, because something that did make me a little nervous about even like admitting to the fact that I really liked your painting and stuff in your work was just the whole thing of snobby is not exactly the right term for it, but it just felt like everything was just an exchange. So yes, you loved Claire Taylor's sculpting, but it just felt like that's all you were going after for her stuff. And because in the way it felt like that is because of how quickly you will switch out the babies. You go from loving it, oh, I love this baby, and then the next thing you know, you getting rid of it for the next sculpt and everything. So it was just like it just came across wrong. It just felt like everything was an exchange that you never really bonded to anything. Like really bonded to anything.
And it's the truth. I'm confessing right now. I had if it was a new sculpt came out with a new feature, I had to have it. I don't want this one no more. This Toyota ain't like the new Cadillac. Yeah. And you know, and the thing is that sometimes the newer thing wasn't as good as the one that I got rid of. And
exactly,
there's a lot of that. There's so many babies that I wish I would have kept over other babies that I paid more for, and I didn't like it as much. Rather, it was the sculpting or the painting. I wish I had kept, like Serena. I wish I would have kept Serena and Lizzie, and not, you know what I mean? Like there's just different ones that I could name.
Yeah, I promise you, to this day, I wish that I would have found your page a lot faster and became before Lizzie got on your channel, because that is still the baby that I want. I really want a partial Gabby Girl. That is literally the baby that I wanted.
Lizzie stayed with me for nearly 2 years, almost 2 years, and she was definitely one that I should not have gotten rid of. But you know, like I said, you know, I couldn't afford. One of the reasons too, another thing is that I really had no business collecting Claire Taylor dolls, to be honest, because I really couldn't afford it. And so that's why I was selling so many dolls when the next one come out, because my broke
that was the only way you can buy it.
Otherwise,
yeah.
I'm just saying, I didn't have the money. So really, and that's another thing that a lot of people don't understand in this community, is that and people don't talk about this, is that you really don't reach a satisfaction or a contentment or a happiness when you collect above your pay grade, because you always kind of have that little inkling in the back of your head that you overdid it, or you got this going on in your life, but you steady buying all these high behind babies, and you took that money and did this, that, and other, or I couldn't afford to collect Claire Taylor dolls and other dolls because her dolls were so expensive. There was no room for me to buy reborns or anything like that. That's why now I'm able to collect like a little of this, a little of that. And like, even if I buy her kits, it's a lot different than me buying the painted dolls now. And I'm able to, and I'm the happiest that I've been in a lot of years, and it's not me knocking her or don't think that people should buy her work. It's just that I'm just being honest. I was collecting above my pay grade. For those ladies that's out there that's buying them, that truly can afford it, kudos to them, and I understand it. But for me, spending that kind of money was kind of foolish. I mean, not that I was taking it out of my bill money. Don't get me wrong. We eat good over here. We still eating steak and potatoes, baby. Don't get it wrong, baby, because, baby, I'll jump on a pole in a minute. No, I'm just playing. Okay.
I tell you what, I definitely don't dock Claire Taylor's work. I don't want nobody to see it that way, because it is 100% not like that. However, something that just came across to me is the case that if I am going to spend the price tag, I'm not saying that I would never, ever in life, ever have a situation where I would want to spend that price tag on the baby. But if I'm going to spend that price tag on the baby, I need to love the sculpting as well as the painting. And I can get nitpicky with the painting, because the painting does bring out things in the sculpting, or it can take away certain things in the sculpting. So that was my whole situation with Claire Taylor dolls. I won't say they weren't worth it, because absolutely they are worth it. And some people will absolutely just go after the next Claire baby here and there, whether they have to sell a baby for it or they can just buy it. But in my situation, I have not popped up to a situation with a Claire baby where I was so in love with the sculpt as well as the painting by ones that she's like done herself, to where I would pay that price tag for it.
Yeah, and it is a very hard balance to do that as a whole with everybody, baby.
Yes.
Just trying to
Yeah.
match the sculpt with the painting. Like it's like when it's hard to find one that go together. And it was something else I wanted to say, I forgot, but gosh, I forgot. But Brown Sugar said, when I met you at the show, I thought you were really nice, but I didn't want to talk to you too much because I didn't want you to think I was a stalker. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. I had parties in my hotel room with people from YouTube and stuff. A lot of people have no idea. Like we not parties, but like we hung out and just chilled out and stuff. And um I was gonna say something about the collecting. Um I don't know. Like I said, it was really like I said, I really went through a lot of different phases in my collecting. And I think a lot of people that started from the very beginning when I first started kind of probably notice a pattern with me. I get stuck on one artist or another, or one, sculptor or another, and I'll stay on that artist for the longest. And because when I find something I like, I kind of stay with it. And then another thing that was happening too, like I even when I had started painting, I never still showed my work. Like I never showed the dolls that I painted, hardly ever. I'll show them every
Hmm.
now and then it would just be like
Yeah.
everybody else dolls. And then I was getting emails and I was getting comments and I was getting a lot of comments and I was getting a lot of emails saying, why don't you show your own work more? Like you never show your own dolls. And so that was kind of another thing too that I had to kind of do. So it's just a lot of learning and
Yeah.
growing and going and just having a variety and a mix. It just makes it so, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that I wasn't happy when I was collecting the higher end dolls, because surely if I have the money to buy one and I wanted to buy one and I really liked it, I would probably still do it. But I've just been much happier being able to look at this, be able to buy this one from here and that one from there. And,
Mhm.
I'm even branching out a little bit even more now, because like I'm painting another baby from a whole nother sculptor, but we'll get into that later. But I'm just, yeah, I'm enjoying this exploring. But I think live, I don't know. I think the live streams allow people to interact with
Yeah.
the person behind the camera a little bit more. And like
Yeah.
you said, just doing a blanket video or just the commenting back and forth, it kind of might come
Yeah.
across differently than actual being in live action.
It felt like a lot to try and keep up with, because obviously, I was just starting out. I didn't always have the, a new baby to sit up here and show off to people, and then I didn't know who knew what artist I didn't collect the baby from, and who care about to hear about this baby and all that stuff. So I was just like, I ain't got a Claire Taylor doll. She ain't gonna want to say nothing to me.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. Like that's never been a thing. Like, I've always um had people that collect other dolls, Claire dolls or um big high name dolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's interesting, but it's also like I said, it feels so good. It feels so
Yeah.
good. I can't lie. Like it feels so good. Like I don't get as much of the hate that I was getting and stuff like that, as far as um the just the community and the different groups and people that, like, if I do a video and I say something, they got to come back and debate what I said. And then, it just was like always a big to do circling around those dolls. So I was just like, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that no more.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have any particular type of hate towards you. Like, but it just, my case was is that I did kind of just watch you in the background. It wasn't the case that I wanted to make myself known. And I didn't seen like people who had their own opinions or
Why
something.
you kept watching me then? If you thought, why you kept watching me?
No, that's what I'm saying. I had no hate towards you, which is why I started watching you. I kept watching you because I did like seeing some of your babies. There were some babies, and then I loved seeing how you interact with your babies. But it's just when you got to the point where some of the ones that I really liked, you got rid of them and stuff. And I seen a baby that I was not too fond of. I was just like, you got rid of the baby that I was watching you for.
Look, the one cute baby you only had one cute baby in that nursery.
And then you got this little raggedy baby that you didn't care for a week and got rid of. As I see why you got rid of them.
Look, you had one job, and that was to keep a cute one in the
Yeah, you had no business getting rid of the cute baby and getting this little raggedy thing that you was only gonna keep for 2 weeks. Yeah, you know you pretending you like that thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. Baby.
Like who you lied to? You know you don't love that baby. You just trying to show everybody, trying to make it seem like you don't regret your decision. You regret that.
Let me tell you. I will tell y'all the truth. Once I sell a baby and that money hit my account and that mama say she happy, I don't think about them babies no more after that. I don't be hurt like that. Like, there's very few babies that I've sold that I've like, dang, I wish I would have never sold that baby. Like, I may say that, but like, honestly, it's like very, very few that I actually literally wish that if I had money, I could get that baby back if I knew it was in the same condition as I sold it. Very few. Because once they gone, I'm over it. I don't keep nothing for long. No husband, no, no dog, no nothing. I don't want it. After a while, I'm bored. I get bored quick. I mean, I'm just playing. But I do keep I have dolls in my collection that I've had for a very long time. I have,
But something to think about is that what if somebody sat up here and watched how you were with your dolls and thought you was like that with the people in your community? Like, okay, bye. I don't need you.
What? Oh, like, you think, like saying once y'all leave. Well, it is people, it's people in this community that do think that there are people that think that I'm mean. There's people that think that I'm probably dismissive. I block a lot of people. I believe in blocking.
You do block a lot of people.
My energy. I like genuine people around me. A lot of people is like chasing fame or want a big channel. I do want a play button. And it's not really about the number of subscribers. It's just so shiny and cute. They got play button cute, like the YouTube play button. I want the plaque. I mean, if they could just send me one for now, I'd be happy. But I mainly care about people that interact with me. The people that comment on my channel regularly and stuff like that, you guys are the ones that I look for comments every time I post a video, or if I do it. I know some of you guys don't comment on all the videos, but in certain videos, I know like, okay, so-and-so gonna have something to say about this or whatever. Or even some people like message me privately or something like that. I will say this, let me put it out there. Most of my conversation is done on my videos. I don't do a lot of private chatting with people because I don't like to get too personal, because I've been burnt in this community a lot. Well, more than I like to. But I genuinely connect with people through commenting and stuff like that. So whether I have 1,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers, numbers don't really matter. It's the people that actually interact that I get to know, and like I literally feel like y'all my real friends. Like, girl, you did what? You bought who? Like I'm that type of person. Like I remember doll show one year, and I met this girl, and I don't know, I can't remember her name now, because it's been about 4, 5, 6 years. I don't know, but I met her at the doll show, and she was talking to me, and I guess she didn't think I was gonna know who she was. And she was like, and I remember, like, I started telling her the comments that she left on my channel, and she was looking at me like, how you remember it? Yeah, and she was like, oh, you really remember me? And she started crying. Of course, I started crying. Y'all know I'm a punk. Don't do that. Don't ever walk up to me and start crying, because I'm gonna cry with you. And I'm gonna find out why we crying later. But
you one of them people that got that never cry alone.
But she was
about
like,
you.
and I'm thinking to myself, like, how wouldn't I know if you comment on my channel regularly? So that's the type of person I am. Like, I'm really in tune with the people, and you know, I mean, that's just like with Linda. Linda literally just hadn't commented on my post in 2 hours, and I knew something was wrong. I was already posting, going, "Where's Linda?" You know what I mean? Because that's how my mind works. Like, I get used to people habits and and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because people when they see me at shows and stuff, they're like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like, to me, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I get to meet y'all." Like, I'm the same way about y'all as y'all be about me.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'm like that too. I get used to certain people's patterns and habits. Yeah. And it just becomes kind of a norm for me. But I'm just letting you know, when I first was watching you, it just I don't know, because I know I can be opinionated. I don't have a problem with another person being opinionated, but don't be closed-minded.
Oh, did she just call me closed-minded on the low or high key?
Now you came across a little like you might be a little, like, if you were closed-minded, we was gonna fight. That's just how
you might be a little slow. You probably licked a few windows. That's what it sounds like. But I do really honestly appreciate you saying that and putting that out there, and so that we can have that conversation. I'm so glad that you just been honest and upfront. Like, that's all I be want. Like, tell me, like,
that's me too.
Yeah,
be honest and upfront with me.
Don't sugarcoat it, but don't be nasty now. Don't make me come flat your tires.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, but let me know, like, hey, this is how you was, girl.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
And to tell you the truth, just because somebody comes off that way to me initially, I don't just say that they're that way, because I don't know. They may not actually be that way.
Because I wouldn't.
No, you wasn't. You yourself. You are who you are. You have your
selling Coca-Cola bottles to get them babies, and y'all.
You have your own opinions, and I respect your opinions.
Money while I was over here talking about, you got $5. I was standing in front of Wendy's and with my little cup out.
But that's why that day when I first learned how to do a super chat and stuff, and I was just like, you know what? I respect you, and I support you.
And I was like, yes. Wait, okay.
But you barely knew who I was at that time when I did that. But I was like, yeah, I meant to send it.
I was like, you sure? Because, girl, I was like, send your money back. Like, don't be consider your light bill money. Blessing Reborn Doll said, what is everyone's opinion of Reggie cuddle bodies versus other cuddle bodies? I personally prefer Reggie and cuddle bodies, but I've had the other ones, and to me, they just were stiff. I didn't have the ability to weight them. I have some Bountiful Baby bodies over there, the kind that you could put together, like weight them like manually. And baby, I ain't got the time or the patience to sit there and try to put them together. Baby, arm and leg gonna be done fell off. I just can't do it.
You gonna have one deflated thigh and one inflated thigh.
Listen, I don't mind spending the extra money that it costs for a Reggie. See, the difference is, like, you might be able to get a cuddle body for $25 through Bountiful Baby or whatever, and I'm gonna pay almost $100 for my bodies through Reggie Ann. But they gonna come weighted. I have to adjust them a little bit, but they wiggly. They feel weighted like a real baby. I just love them. Some people do not like them, but I love them.
I don't have an opinion because I ain't never had a cuddle baby.
And who else said, I can't help but wonder if those individuals have completely changed their mind or regret their actions, but grown up enough to say, hey, I'm sorry about my past behavior, and you're cool people. Some people have came to me and said that, like, oh, you're cool people, but some people just genuinely don't like me. And I don't blame them, because sometimes I don't like myself.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're not
Not
going to
everybody gotta
all
like
like
you.
each other. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's never going to be a situation where we just all. Oh, I'm gonna have to reschedule me and get a date. Um, um, it's never going to be a thing where
Mm.
everybody's going to like everybody all the time. I'm one of those people. I've always been like this all my life. You either love me or you hate me. Most people is not
Mhm.
in between, and when they are in between, they fake because usually people like the way I am. I know I have a strong opinion. I'm very direct. Sometimes I say things I don't realize that it can be offensive, but I'm just saying, like I'll just say stuff, and you have to pull me to the side and say, what do you mean by that? Or I didn't like the way you said this or you did that. Now don't show out in public because I'm gonna show out with you. But you could pull me to the side privately and we could talk about it.
Yep,
But
exactly.
if I ain't blocked you, that's all
Right.
I'm saying.
Block.
Look, if I blocked you, time up. You got to email me or something. But I honestly, and that's another thing. People get mad with me about that, but I'm a person. I've been burnt so much I feel like, because I'm one of them people like I can't be in between. Like I'm an all or nothing person. So I don't like to have to censor my conversation with people. Like if I have, how you have friends and you talking to that friend and I can't tell her this. I can't have friends like that. I gotta be able to just be me and do what and say whatever I want to say. I can't do that. So
Well, I will tell you this. My friends, technically I can mention anything around them, but the thing is that I know that I do have a friend who's like a very polar opposite to me, and sometimes I don't like how she phrases certain things, so I won't say certain things to her because I already know how the conversation's gonna go, and I don't have the energy for it. But it's not like I can't mention it to her and I can't have that conversation with her, but I just know that I don't have the energy.
Well, okay, so with friendships, even outside of dolls, like there's different levels of friendships. There's different friends,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only you. And this is what my take on it. And I've only lived in this world for 44 years, but it's only in a lifetime that you find that one friend that you can just share everything with, and that's you just a lifelong friend. You have that friend that you can talk about your relationships with. You got your friend that you talk about work with. You got your friend that you do your hobbies with. You got your friends that you party with. It's kind of rare that you have that friend that you can, I had a friend, my childhood friend. We were super close, but we could talk about everything. But if I was in my feelings and was having a sensitive moment, she could cry all night about little Bobby done pull down Susie Ann pants and she mad about it. But I couldn't come to her and say, "Oh, my feelings was hurt because such and such, such." She'd be looking at me like, "What feelings?" Like,
Yeah, because some people don't think that you allowed to be,
like,
to be like that, to
learned
have
not
those
to talk to
moments.
her about stuff. If my feelings was hurt, I just never talked to her about that because she act like I wasn't allowed to have feelings. So yeah, you have different levels of friends. In this community, you meet people and we might just talk strictly dolls, but every now and then you meet that person that you click with and y'all have similar backgrounds and y'all talk about
Mm-hmm.
work and kids and this and that. And that's just a part of the socializing and meeting people in this hobby and just in the world, period. I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I don't dismiss people very quickly. I'm not going to let them in super quickly, but I'm not super dismissive of people just judging by my first impression of them because I'm not always right. And I know this.
Look, I know. No, just playing.
Shush. Even you can admit that you came off a certain way, so don't you talk about me.
But I mean,
And I'm just being one of those other people that let you know you came out that way towards me, okay?
I was like DJ Khaled. I'm the best. Okay.
We're the best.
Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow baby said, okay, I was listening to this, but I wanted to say I've been watching your videos on my other YouTube for years. Your videos gave me chicken butt courage to make a YouTube, YouTube. So you started doing your YouTube channel because of little old me. That's how. Listen, I have got a couple people make YouTube videos.
Listen, I'm intimidated by the technology that comes with doing YouTube and being able to edit stuff.
Listen, everybody's videos, they have all these nice little thumbnails and all that. Listen, my Bella Blessing had a whole video for a thumbnail. I was like, how she did that? Baby, listen, I've been doing this thing for 12, 13 years. The basic I can do, I could crop something out. And I can just, and I have to sometimes just cut the whole video. I was just like, no, I don't have time to try to edit it out.
My thing about to look like a whole home video with no edits, nothing to make it look fancy or nothing. I'm gonna be sitting there in a bonnet, just rolled out of bed, like, hey.
Hey, when you look at my videos, think about it. I'm always in my pajamas, and I'll sit there and wear the same thing. Did I say I wear the same thing? Well, I'll wear the same thing because I'll sit there and record 5, 6 videos in 2 hours or an hour for the next couple of weeks. And so sometimes I thought about it one day. I said, well, dang, these people probably say that girl will never change that nightgown.
Hey, look, that's true about my babies. They be sitting in the same thing for like the half the year.
Like, baby, listen, I'm gonna need you to take some time off and get a bath, honey. I'm gonna need you to go wash up. Cause baby, you done had that gown for 20, and it's got the same stain on it. Listen.
And you got the same little piece of crust in your eye.
Cause baby, I will sit there and record all my videos, and then that's what I do. I upload them and I schedule them to come out at certain dates, and that's why sometimes stuff be backwards. I pre-recorded a video the other day with Lanny, and I was saying I gotta let the mama know that it's done, and I'm just waiting on the final payment. And she messaged me and was like, "You didn't get the payment?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I told you it was shipped." So I'm like, I was wondering why she said it, and then she said, "Oh, because in the video you said," I said, "Oh, that video was recorded." Like, I'm just not uploading it, but it's been recorded because he was gone when that video came out. He was already in the mail. Baby was already traveling. So yeah, it's just funny. And Tom said it's hard to say whatever you want to, even if nicely, especially about drama or situations. Even if you what she said? Oh, it jumped. Even if you don't say names, you'll be known as an S-starter. And it's like walking on eggshells. And And Brown Sugar said, I can't with people that say, oh, why are you so blunt? I mean, don't ask me a question if you don't want the truth, because like Shelly said, in other words, though, I'm seasoned in this life.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Don't ask me my opinion or a question on things if you're gonna get offended by how blunt my answer about to be.
Look, Raising Diversity said, does anyone know if she still has Joey or her Millie? I do have Joey. Where is he? Oh, he in my room. Be scaring the crap out of me. He's sitting up in a chair over there, and I look up and the way he's sitting is like he raising up like this. And so every time I kind of jump because he's sitting in there in my room. But yes, I do still have him. And then Made Such a Love said, I love it. It is authentic. I am the same way. We are human. We're not perfect. I like videos like that. It's more entertaining. I mess up all the time. LOL. And they said I forgot about Lil Joey. So yeah, I have Joey. I don't dress Joey as often. I think that he's, quality painted, but I don't want to like scratch him, or I don't want, and then he squeaks when you move him and stuff like that. So I just rather just keep him cute and sitting there, and I go and touch his little hair like this sometime, and he talks.
Look, if he's sweet, just put a little oil in his joints.
No,
he'll be fine.
You have to be careful what you do to him, because his daddy, is Joe from You. And you know, he can get a little dangerous. He might be looking out the window right now.
He being alone.
But yeah, I still like, I don't show Joey, I don't show Taraji. I got little man right here.
Like Taraji be sitting in the background of your video. She be making herself known.
Yeah. And I got this one. And he's sitting right here. Look, with his fat self.
Still love that boy. How dare you?
I put him on.
I was waiting until you got him rooted before I was about to say if I really wanted him. I
Girl,
need to
you
see
know
his
when
slow
he get fully, look, you know when he get fully rooted, he might still go.
I know. I still got my. Listen, with Rowan, when you kept on saying you wasn't gonna get rid of that baby, I was like, you don't get rid of that baby.
I don't know though. I do like him a lot though, because
I stayed on your case about him.
Logan is fun to dress, and he's a big chubby baby.
I
And
know.
I don't usually click with the chubby babies like that.
Me neither.
I mean, nothing against chubby babies,